Do you have a go-to song for when you're feeling upset? I have a couple for maybe when I'm mad or maybe just in a bad mood. But the song that got me through a time of grief and sadness recently was Mr. Blue by Yazoo, or Yaz if you live in North America. Now this song is off 1983's You and Me Both, the second of two Yaz albums, and it is deeply comforting. So what I wanted to know is why. How was this accomplished, not only through beautiful lyrics, but compositionally? How was this comfort created through the chord structure? That's what we're going to look at in this video. My name's Erin, this is Newish Wave. Thank you for being here. Mr. Blue offers truly a friend in a time of grief. It's a thoughtful, melancholic song that is somehow also deeply comforting. So let's look into the chord structure to see how this happens. We've got beautiful lyrics written by Vince Clarke, who had, of course, been with Depeche Mode and then went on to Erasure. Lyrics delivered soulfully as ever by Alison Moyet, now a solo artist. They were an amazing duo. But on top of the lyrics, let's look at the musical structure. Number one, the chorus walks through no fewer than 7 chords, 6 of them different, through a very brief set of phrases, right? I'm Mr. Blue, I'm here to stay with you, and no matter what you do, when you're lonely, I'll be lonely too. Pretty brief for 7 chords. What happens in those chords is we start in major chords, we go into some minor chords. When we start talking about how this is going to take a while, I'm here to stay with you. And then we come back to a comforting major after that. But it's not just the chorus, it's the lead up. So what I'll be showing in a moment here are 3 videos. First, we'll listen to and watch just briefly the introduction, major chords, things feeling pretty good. Then we'll look at the structure behind the verses where we start to think, ooh, something might be wrong. And then, most of all, we'll walk through the whole chorus and you'll be able to see where those chord shifts create those emotional shifts such that the chorus can say, you know what? You're sad and I get it and it's not going to be easy, but we can make it through this together. So nothing too concerning so far. The verses actually begin with the same chord structure there, another A and E a couple of times, but then we bring in something that doesn't fit quite as peacefully. We have our first minor chord. Let's take a look at the verse. I'll put the lyrics for all 4 verses there, so if you want, you can listen along with the lyrics in your mind, and then you get to see where does that minor chord hit. So now we've learned a few things that are deeply wrong. And one thing I like about hearing these verses during a difficult time is you almost get a sense of shared grief and the thought that sadness is a part of our human lives and can connect us to one another. And so those verses really bring that concept through. Grief is part of our lives. So what are we going to do with it? Well, here comes Mr. Blue in the chorus to give us some comfort. So we'll walk through the chorus and maybe pay attention to 2 specific parts where the lyrics get a little more difficult, like, I'm here to stay with you. You're going to be going through this for a while. We see a couple of minor chords during that part of the lyrics. And then at the end of the chorus, when we mention the concept of being lonely, we get kind of a wild card chord, not really part of the home key, but the 5 of the 5, which I will explain on the piano here when we get back. So check out the chorus, see what you think about those ups and downs, but with an ending that says, we're going to be together through this, it's going to be okay. although the chorus goes through a moment of melancholy with I'm here to stay, this is going to be a moment, we actually come out on the other end with a 5 chord, feeling comforted. We've started and ended with a 1 and the 5, same thing the introduction did. So it just keeps this story going of we're together in this, even though in between we have these moments recognizing the difficulty. I thought that this was brilliantly written. I love the lyrics. Compositionally, it's even more amazing. So let's investigate that 5 of 5, and then I'll share a little bit about why I chose to listen to this song so much this year. So if we're in the key of A, and that's our 1 chord, the 5 chord of that would be 5 steps higher. And so that is going to be the E. So if I say to myself, what's 5 steps higher than that? It's the B, and now I have arrived at a 5 of a 5. Why would somebody do that? Well, the B is not part of this key, right? But since it's a 5 of a 5, it can play a role that's like a 5, fits in, but with a slight questioning. And I think on Lonely, we did hear something a little bit different. I don't see a 5 of a 5 used that often. I don't see so many chords written in a row in a chorus so often. This is complex and interesting, and I think that's another reason that the minimalism of Yaz works so well. We've talked in other videos and through some of your interesting comments about how so many Joy Division songs are amazing with their minimalism, but their depth, right? And so I think this chorus gives an example of how a band like Joy Division or Yazoo can create something so deep out of something so minimal by writing it so well. All right, so yes, in January of this year, I lost my mom, and it was a long process that took a lot of time leading up to that with different things she was going through. I would often be over at my mom and dad's helping, and then on the way home, I would listen to Mr. Blue. Well, I have to say, I think it helped me process my grief as I went through. I would actually plan, when I'm done here, I'm going to get in the car and cry. And then I will feel a little bit better and a little bit like I was visited by Mr. Blue, by this concept that grief is something to try to see naturally, right? And so it really made a huge difference for me. If you've had a song make a difference for you, I'd love to hear the story. Or if Mr. Blue has been a part of your life, please let me know, or maybe share your favorite Yazoo song in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you soon.